Hello, everyone. I'm just looking at myself in the exceptional outfit I'm wearing and my nice pimple there. I have not put makeup on in 4 days. This is what I look like with no makeup and in desperate need to put myself together. Um, Kind of been debating about whether or not I wanted to write or if I wanted to make a video, and um, I I find writing very cathartic, and I am a writer. I've done it for years. It is exactly how I put my expressions on in a way that I'm able to understand them and can pass along. Um, but for some reason, I just haven't felt like writing, and I think part of it is it does make me think. And talking, I do a lot better. And as Matt will tell you, I like to talk and not think. So it made more sense to me. So Monday, we had our beta quant test, which is our pregnancy test. Anyone who's seen me the last 10 days has seen that my boobs have been huge. I have been nauseated. I have been falling asleep before 8 o'clock at night. And I'm a night person, up at like 3 or 4 in the morning and up for the rest of the day. I had a lot of crazy symptoms. Saw Carolina. Carolina's like, girl, like, you are probably pregnant. And as I've reminded people, I'm on 700 milligrams of progesterone, and it was a much higher dose than I was last time, and it wasn't in my butt, it was oral. And it knocked me flat on my ass. Like, I've never had such a potent sleeping aid, ever. Like, I would take it, and an hour later, I had to be in bed because I would be on the floor somewhere asleep. It was negative. I prepared myself for it being negative, but I think we were just so positive that it was a good outcome. We did everything right. I mean, I did acupuncture for a month. I did it the day before the transfer. I did it the day after the transfer. I ate a clean diet. I drank pomegranate juice. I ate pineapple core. I stayed off my feet for 2 days, begrudgingly. Um, I did everything I was supposed to, and it still didn't work. Um, it hit me a lot harder than I anticipated. I mean, even though like I prepared myself, like it still might not work. You know, we don't know. Last time I started testing on day 7. I did not do that at all. I went 11 days without testing. Just blind faith in my body, and I did not want to drive myself crazy. The caveat to that was I had a couple days before I had my pregnancy test that I was already prepared that it was going to be negative because it had been negative every single morning when I was taking the test. So I was disappointed and I was grieving for a couple days, but small amounts, like bummed. Like I was, and then I was tapering my progesterone off because I knew it was negative. I wanted to have the beta test to confirm it and then get my period. This time around, I didn't do that. And I stopped everything cold turkey. Again, I was on 700 milligrams of progesterone a day, plus estrogen. I'm not sure what the dosage, they're the little patches. I didn't have that before. And it was like a ton of bricks. It was awful. I sobbed so hard. My eyes were bloodshot. Of course, my mom and I were out shopping when I found out, and all I wanted to do was go home and just cry. Because it was so gut-wrenching. We just felt so sure that it had worked this time. Came home, cried for hours while, poor sweet Matt. He is the most wonderful man and husband. I am truly blessed to have him. Well, he comforted me. And not once did I ever blame myself. I just was so sad that it was working for everybody else around me, the IVF, but it wasn't working for me. And why the hell not? And we felt so positive this was going to work, and it was such an upsetting result. And I've been doing this for 7 months. I literally have been full of hormones, artificial hormones, for 7 months. That's a really long time to be having these ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. And I pride myself in being able to be a very positive person. Since I was pregnant with Scarlett, it was an unexpected pregnancy. I was not in a state of mind to be pregnant or have a child, and I had to come to grips with becoming a mom when I did. In grad school, not married, living in an apartment in Chicago by myself. And I did, and I figured it out. And, I prided myself in that. And from then on, I was very positive. I gave forward. A lot of you noticed I did Project Pay It Forward when I was pregnant with Scarlett, where anytime someone asked me to donate money, whether it was at like the grocery store or outside of, the supermarket or whatever, I would donate whatever change I had. And I was a broke, grad school student. But the way I looked at it was I was so blessed. It makes me want to cry when I think about it. It wasn't when we expected to have a child, but I was so grateful that I was lucky enough to get pregnant and have a child. And there are people out there that can't. And now I'm one of them. I'm literally one of those people. But I was just so grateful that I was healthy and she was healthy and I was getting my master's degree and it was going to be okay. And since then, she's 5 and I found out I was pregnant almost six years ago. It'll be 6 years ago, on December 29th. And since then, I have continued to do that. And I know it drives Matt crazy because I'm always scrounging for change to donate. And Scarlett does the same thing too. And, it's paying it forward. There's always somebody who's less fortunate than you. There's always somebody going through something harder. And it's taking a step back and looking at your own blessings and everything you have around you. So, that's usually what my mindset is. Very positive. I can turn anything around and make it positive. I could not for the last 4 days. Literally from Monday until yesterday, I could not. I think part of it again too was the hormones. I stopped everything. So I went from here to here, and then I got my period yesterday. So then I don't know where the hell I went on that range. So I was doing better until yesterday when I got my period. And then it was like a whole new wave of just like spontaneous swings, like a pendulum. I'd go from being okay to being very much not okay. Matt's out of town and my mom was out of town. And I was calling her yesterday probably every couple hours because I just could not pull it together. Part of that too was I was home alone and just stewing. Usually Matt's home with me, so if I have something, I can go and talk to him. Or, I have Scarlett and I have to pull my shit together. I didn't have anybody. And last night, my friend Alicia, who lives right down the street, or down 2 houses, came over and drank wine with me, and we talked and we made blankets for dogs. And yesterday afternoon, not yesterday, 2 days ago, I was with Kayla, my other neighbor, and sat and had some fellowship with her. And that truly helped me a lot. And I saw my aunt and my nieces, and that also helped too. It's just been hard because Matt's not here, and he so much is my person. And I know he needed a break from me. He's in Detroit. And it's good for him to not be home right now because this has been hell for him too. And so it's almost better for him to not be here to see me like this. So before I went to bed last night, after I watched like 18 episodes of True Blood, because vampires make everything better, I kind of did what I did when things were bad after Scarlett was born. And I'm not going to get into those details, except that I was devastatingly sad like I was with this. And I cried for days. And I legit said to my mom, I am wasting what is the best time with a newborn baby sulking about something I can't change and being upset about something I have no control over. And it was giving up that control and being like, I'm not going to be upset about this anymore. I've grieved. This is it. We're moving forward. And that's exactly what I did last night. I said, you know what? Despite these hormones that are, yes, messing with me, you have now cried for 4 days. It's time to stop. My house is very clean. I mean, like, usually not clean like this at all. My kitchen's completely spotless. I just said, I'm done being sad. That's it. You've grieved. You're pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and moving forward. And so when I woke up this morning, that's exactly what I did. I'm still in my pajamas, but I did pull myself up and say that was it. It's going to be a good day. I'm working today. I'm looking forward to working. I ended up taking Tuesday off because I was just not in a good place. And I have FMLA in place for a reason. And Tuesday was that reason. It would not have been smart for me to be at work. And I'm very lucky to have such an awesome boss who I called and spoke to with on Monday and said, I just don't think it's smart for me to come in. So I've taken, this time to myself to get right in my mind and clean my house because, part of the issue is with infertility is you lose a sense of control. You become a science experiment essentially. And I am a control freak and I like to plan everything. I like to have everything in my control. And this is so outside of my control. And, and part of getting that control back is cleaning and tidying. And that's something I have control over. So that's what I've been doing. I'm being constructive, which is good. Except for I've got like 10 loads of laundry I have to put away, which I'm going to do in a little bit. So to say that this has been incredibly devastating would be an understatement. Like I said, it hit me a lot harder than I thought. And I really do think part of it is the hormones. That being said, we're taking a break. We had a follow-up consult on Tuesday evening with our doctor, Dr. Jacobs, who is phenomenal, doing this 38 years. I adore the man. And I said, I gotta stop. I need a couple months to get my body back in condition and my mind back in a good place. And I need just a couple months off with no hormones. So he gave us a couple different options on what we wanted to do moving forward, because it's another failed transfer. He believes it has everything to do with the embryo. The embryo was just not a good one. We just had shitty luck. However, we want to make sure that there's nothing with me. Everything has looked perfect. My linings, my hormones, I've had a baby, everything is normal. But something isn't working. So I'm going in for an antibody screen of antiphospholipid and killer T cells to make sure that my body isn't producing some sort of antibody that's killing off the embryos. The second thing we're doing is an ERA. I don't know what that stands for. I'd have to look it up. But essentially what it is you do a mock transfer. So I would take all the medications, and on the day of the transfer, day 5, they'd go in and biopsy my uterus and make sure that the progesterone levels are where they need to be for a transfer at that day. And I guess women range from like 3 to 7 days on progesterone before a successful transfer. 80% lie on day 5, but there's 20% that does not. He recommends that usually after 3 failed frozen transfers, but we don't want to have 3 failed frozen transfers, especially if it's something that is related to me and something we can fix. Then it's easy. Why waste an embryo when we can pinpoint it? And it might be normal, and that's fine too. So the plan is to do that in February. Do the biopsy, see what that says. And at the same time, if my antibody screen is positive, they will also do a biopsy and look at the titers or something like that in my uterus. Pending that, we will do a transfer in March. I want to put 2 embryos in because I don't want to do this again, ever in my life. It fucking sucks. Pardon my language, but it sucks. I don't want to do this ever again. And if I can get 2 babies out of this and just be done, let's do it. I'm done. Seriously, I don't care. I don't want to do this again. And I was telling Matt too, even if we do have one healthy baby after this, I don't believe I'm going to do this ever again. It is so horrible. Yes, it is fantastic. It makes babies. It gives people who can't have children the opportunity to have children. But it is a really shitty process. It is not easy, and I think I get more and more angry as this goes on because I don't like it. I don't like anything about it. Probably because I haven't had any positive results from it. I know what I don't have, but we can't fix the problem. So that is our plan. We talked to Scarlett about it. We told her after the fact that we had the transfer because I couldn't carry her. And she was excited. I wasn't sick like I was the first transfer and the first the stimulation and stuff. And I waited a couple of days to tell her that it didn't. I think I told her on Wednesday that the embryo didn't stick because I wanted to be able to tell her and not cry. And I was able to do that. She said that she was very sad. She was sad for me. She's sad because she wants a brother or a sister. And she wanted me to do it again next month. And I told her that I also want to have more kids too. I want to give her a brother or sister. But I also want to take care of her and take care of myself. And to do that, I have to take a break so that I can be the best mom that I can be to her. And I haven't felt like I have been that kind of mom to her for the last couple months. I know other people would disagree, but it's my own. I beat myself up like crazy when it comes to that kind of stuff. So that's our plan. She was okay. You know, Matt and I have talked about, you know, what we'll do in the future, and like I said, we've got 3 embryos left, and we'll use them. I'm willing, you know, I'm not even 30 yet. I'm willing to do another stimulation. I'm willing to do another round of embryos, but after that, I will be done. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I mean, we've talked about fostering to adopt and adoption, and I think if there's a way that we could afford it, we will. We want to have more kids. We love kids. We would have 50 kids if we could fit them in our house. So yeah, I mean that's where we're at. I'm doing okay now. I was not doing okay, and thank you. I reached out to my inner circle the last few days, and I have been surrounded by overwhelming love and support, and I love you guys so much. Thank you so very much for helping me during this, because it has been really hard, and it's hard for me to admit when I'm struggling because I usually don't struggle very much. So I'm incredibly grateful for all the love and support that I've had and we've had and continue to have. So, my friends, that is where we are. I'm glad that 2017 is just about over. It's been a good year, but it's also been a hard year. And yeah, I'll definitely keep you guys updated on things, how they're going. I'll probably write more moving forward, but this, like I said, I mean, this is a 16-minute video. Writing this all down just seemed like it would be too much, because it would take me 3 times as long to write this, and stewing, and just, no. But yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for all your support. You're wonderful. And I'll try not to cry in front of you moving forward. Probably not going to happen, but thanks, guys.